Hey, everybody. And we're going live on Facebook at the same time. Isn't that fun? So everyone get ready to share. You can watch this inside of Zoom. Inside of Zoom is where I'll be talking on the comments. I'll be responding to you. If you're on Facebook Live, I won't be able to. So let's get ready to go live, you guys. Here we go. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rock Your Talk. My name is April. I am the Master Coach and President of Coach Speak and Serve and the Administrator of the Community Coach Speak and Write for.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Lord. Coach Speak and Write for Profits.
My name is April.
I'm on Facebook talking too. So I'm really excited about being here with you tonight. Tonight is an opportunity for me to coach you, to train you, and to go over some very important elements in regards to leveraging your talk on the stage as a speaker. So this is really the beginning Rock Your Talk is. And for those of you who are new to me, then please type in new in the comments, whether you're inside the Zoom room or you're watching live on Facebook right now. I highly encourage you to share this broadcast. For those of you live viewers, please share the broadcast. And we're going to be getting started with the training here shortly. This should last us about 75 minutes. And please note that one of the things that I love about speaking and what really encouraged me as a speaker was honestly Les Brown. I really have to admit it was Les Brown. I saw him when I was about 21 years old at a conference when I was doing some multi-level marketing business. At that time, I think it was called ACN. Do you guys remember that? It's like American Communication Network. And that's back when video pagers were still out and all those things. So I'm really encouraged about being a speaker myself. I'm actually in Santa Barbara right now going to be speaking on the main stage at Entrepalooza, which is the marketing conference for modern entrepreneurs that is led by Ontraport, which is our CRM. It's our marketing automation. And so I'm one of the speakers. And guess what I'm speaking on? Live streaming for profits. And so I'm excited to be with you today. And I'm actually at Fess Parker. So shout out to the Fess Parker Hotel. If you have never stayed here and you want to come to Santa Barbara, you should absolutely stay at Fess Parker. It's beautiful. It's on the beach and it's an amazing property. Before we get started, I'd love to know where everyone is. It looks like we have New York in the house, Virginia, Canada. Shout out to Canada. Well, is anyone out of the country? I see St. Louis here. I see Memphis, Tennessee, Richmond, Virginia, tons of places all over the country. Whoa, Jamaica. Shout out to Jamaica. Yes. Virginia, Atlanta, Huntsville, Alabama, Houston. Shout out to Houston. Love Houston, North Carolina, Wisconsin. Hey, Wisconsin, Atlanta, Indiana. I think we pretty much have almost covered the entire United States. And so, yes, love Texas, Jersey, Dallas via Houston. I love it. Nice to see all of you here. Evanston, Illinois. Hey, Illinois, nice to see you. Dallas, I see everyone. So it's really nice to be in your living room, in your office, in your car, wherever you happen to be tuning in to Rock Your Talk. It's really an honor to be able to bring to you this content and this information. And I just want to share with you why speaking is really important. And you need to decide right now how important you really rocking your talk and becoming a paid speaker. And that's the differentiator. It's one thing to be a speaker and to say that you are on your business card, but not really be getting paid, right? Nobody wants that, right? But everyone has been there, right? If you've been there, type 1 in the comments. If you've been there where you said you were a speaker, but you really didn't know how to speak necessarily, you didn't know how to structure your talk, you didn't know how to really command a great stage presence, then I'd love to see you type number 1 in the box. And I'd love to see you type in number 2 if you're ready for that to be over. If you're ready for that to be over, I would love for you. Yes, absolutely. Helen says, it's over, right? Chantel says 2. She's like, it's 4 2s because I'm over it, right? I see it. Mike says he's over it. Darlene says she's over it. I love it. Michelle says she's over 2. She's got 22s on her thing. And so I love that because it's not enough anymore for as entrepreneurs for us just to say things, right? And just to call out things. I'm all about getting paid for the thing, right? You should be getting paid for your expertise. So for the thing that you know, you should absolutely be getting paid for it. I truly believe, and those of you who are connected to me, you should know that one of the greatest things is your voice and what you have to say, and how what you have to say can transform the lives of someone else. So I'm asking you, Renita, I'm asking you, Amanda, I'm asking you, Nicole, I'm asking you, Terrell, who is the person that you're wanting to transform? Type in the comments, who is the person that you're wanting to transform? And again, if you're on Facebook, I encourage you to share this broadcast with your audience so that they can gain access to this. Who is it that you want to transform? Because a transformation begins when you step on the stage. It ends when they can take you home. And we'll talk more about that here momentarily, right? So when your audience can take you home, that's when you know that you're really doing something. I see someone says women and teens. I see someone else says women, they want to help women. I see someone saying single moms. I see someone saying, so there's tons of that. So Cherie Barnes, please share this broadcast on Facebook. I'm watching you. Shirley Hunter, please share this broadcast. Again, we want to get our numbers up, and I'm about to start the training in about 60 seconds. And I'm really excited about that. And I think it's ironic this week, I actually happen to be, this is a heavy speaking month for me. I'm here in Santa Barbara. I leave this conference. I fly to another conference, the African American Authors Expo in Baltimore on Friday. I go home for a couple of days, and then I fly to the Poconos and speak at the Lift Conference, which is a women's conference. So there's all kinds of opportunity for you to do the same, and for people to pay you, and to pay for you to get to various places as well. The opportunity is there. It is real. And I am excited to be here with you on tonight, right? Or whenever you're watching this. So I'm currently sharing this. We want you to rock your talk and go from overlooked to overbooked. This is going to position you for your 2018. And that's what's exciting. But what's more exciting is the fact that not only will what you learned help you structure your talk better tonight, right? And as you can see, don't take for granted, you guys read the types of people that you're in the room with right now. So whether you're in the Zoom room or you're on Facebook, read the types of individuals that and look and see who they want to help. You're in the room with a bunch of change makers, a bunch of world changers, and that's exciting. And you should be excited about it. And so I'm really thrilled to be a part of your growth process as it relates to speaking. So let's do a couple of house rules. First one is, if you're in the Zoom room, utilize the chat box. If you're on Facebook, utilize the feed that's there. When I call for questions, I'll go back and answer them. If for some reason I don't get an opportunity to answer your questions live or during this training, then I will go and answer them when we hang up. And I also encourage you to make sure that you're a part of my online Facebook group, Coach, Speak, and Write for Profits. Coach, Speak, and Write for Profits. Okay? All right. So it's time for us to make amazing things happen. So let me switch over and share my screen. All right. And you guys can still see me, and I can still see your chat. Awesome. So it's time for you to rock your talk, right? So this is rock your talk in my 5 steps. And I really want you to structure your talk, make an impact, and get paid. And listen, getting paid is not the most important thing, but it is. It is, right? If you're in business, it is. You go into business for 2 reasons: to help people or to make money. Just so happens you all want to help people and make money. If you're here because you want to learn how to make money, type in money in the comments. You have to make money in order for your business to be able to sustain itself, for you to be able to grow, and for the transformations to actually happen in the in the lives of your audience, whether you're teaching single moms, single dads, athletes, pastors, children, teenagers, doesn't matter. You have to make money in order to make the impact you want. And the way that the money happens is when you make enough impact in the lives of others, both through free means of content and through paid means of people purchasing your products and services. So I want you to know that you are in the right place at the right time. And I'm really excited for you because one of the things that is one of the biggest challenges is people don't really know how to structure their talk, and they end up being a mess and frustrated. And so you get on stage, you give your content, you breeze through a pitch, or you don't make a pitch at all, and you leave frustrated, right? Whose story is that? You leave frustrated. Sure, you made an impact and you help people, but you know what you also did was disappoint yourself. And that's just the truth. The truth is, no one wants to serve and serve and serve and serve and have an expectation that you're going to make a transformation and that you're also going to reach your goals, and then it doesn't happen. It's disappointing if we're all honest, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. So what I'm going to teach you tonight is order, structure, something that you can repeat. It's going to help you be less stressed when it comes to talking and formulating your talks. It's going to help you become a rock star on stage. It will help you make more of an impact, and it will help you make more money. And that's what we want. Your actions today proves to me that this is the right time for you to move into epicness and you to become the epic speaker that you actually are, right? And what does epic means? It means ginormous, right? My brand moniker is Epic April. And why? Because I want to do shit big. I don't want to be afraid to use my voice. I don't want to be afraid to be who I am. I don't want to be afraid to be authentic. I want to show up full out the way that I am created and serve the people that were meant for me to connect with and serve. I want to give content that you can implement, and I want to make a difference in your world as your coach. And this, your action by attending this training, whether you're watching it live, whether you were connected to me on on Messenger on Facebook through the app ManyChat, whether you saw this in an email or whether you're inside of my Coach Speak and Write for Profits group, doesn't matter. The fact is you saw it, and what you said to yourself is, I want to rock my talk too. I want to rock my talk too. And why not? And why not you? Right? I'm here at Entrepalooza speaking in front of several hundred entrepreneurs, and you could be too. Right? So let's make that happen. One of my favorite people in the world, partner, mentor, is Tori Johnson. And I absolutely love her. And she says, my heart is bursting with compassion and my head is always focused on finding smart solutions to the toughest challenges. That powerful combination makes her a talented asset to individuals and groups in need of make it happen now advice. Make it happen now. You can find Tori on Good Morning America, HSN. We're bringing Spark and Hustle back April of 2018. And she is the CEO and founder of Women for Hire and my mentor. I absolutely adore her. And actually, let me just go back. Tori actually granted me my first speaking engagement several years ago in 2000, either 12 or 11. I spoke at her conference, Spark and Hustle, which now I'm a partner of, and had the opportunity to rock my talk, right? And to deliver content. And as a result, it helped me build up my brand. And my read book rate with that brand, I read booked and spoke at that conference in various cities 5 times, right? And as a result, now I happen to be partnering and I'm bringing the conference back with Tori. So you never know the stage that you're on, who's in the room, who brought you there. You never know the relationships potential that can develop as a result of you coming from behind the computer screen and actually stepping on stage and rocking your talk. The hashtag I want you to use, remember tonight, whether you're tweeting or in the Facebook group, is hashtag #RockMyTalk altogether. Rock my talk. Now, why should you listen to me? Many of you all are already connected to me, and I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2008. Why? Because I got fired. When the bubble busted in 2008, I got busted right along with it, right? As well as many Americans. I launched my first empowerment brand in 2013. I launched Coach Speak and Serve in 2015. Can you believe this is only 2 years old? I produce live conferences. I'm a filmmaker of short films and documentaries. I produce amazing authors. I am also an author. I am launching the CEO Tank for Teens, which is a nonprofit that we're doing. My social media is hot like fire. We've generated over $1 million leveraging the online space. And I'm excited to be here with you tonight. So one of the main reasons you should listen to me is because I've already paid for all the mistakes that I don't want you to make. I've already spent the money, wasted the time, cried the tears, and quit my job, close a previous business to do this. And let me tell you, the best thing that I've ever done is learn what to do so I can avoid wasting time. Now, one of the lessons that I do want to share with you really briefly is, and this is a caveat, okay? No, this is a sidebar rather. So on your notes, put sidebar, #fact. I need you to get this. Sidebar, #fact. Okay? So while you're writing that, I'm going to take a sip of water. One of the things I learned when I was in real estate, because when I started this business, I was already making about 30 grand a month in my previous business. And one of the things I learned from being in real estate was this thing called vacancy loss. And what I want you to do in your fact box is write your annual revenue goal that you would love to bring in from speaking, right? Whatever that is, from the speaking part, not the coaching part or the anything else part, but just the speaking part. So you may say, I want to make an extra 20 grand a year, 50, 100, whatever that is, write that down. Now, when I was in real estate and I used to train leasing managers at apartment complexes, one of the things, and as a GM myself, one of the things that we're constantly, as a GM, that I was drilled by the company I used to work for, shout out to Nolan Real Estate Services in Kansas City. One of the things they taught me was, if you have an apartment, let's equate an apartment for rent in your speaking career. Let's say those are two parallel things. They both have a revenue goal. That apartment for rent, that's $1,000 a month, equates $12,000 a year. That one apartment on the budget sheet in the office, in the apartment you currently live in or the one you used to live in, that apartment has a goal. That goal is that apartment makes $1 grand a month and 12 grand a year. Your speaking career has a goal that you make whatever it is you wrote down. Somebody type in what your goals are. Type in what that number is that you wrote down for your speaking career. Don't get in ooh and ah what other people are trying to do. You be good with your goal, because your goal matches your life goals. Your goal matches what your life looks like, not what the next person's life looks like, okay? So when you think about those two elements, on this side with this apartment, this $1,000 that we're supposed to be generating every single month, they made us break that down by the day, right? So let's do that. I'm going to pull out my calculator, and we're going to break that $1 grand down by the day. So 1,000, let's go average 30. That's $33 a day, $33.33 a day. So out of $33.33 a day, every day that apartment sat vacant is money that was lost. We call it vacancy loss. I want to coin the phrase service loss. So on the side of your speaking, if you're not servicing a stage, you're not on a stage performing, whatever your daily amount is, that's how much you're losing on a daily basis. I hope y'all catch this. That's what you're losing every day. So if your goal was, let's say your goal was $12,000. Well, every single day you're losing $33.33. So it's not okay. I want you to be not okay with the fact that you're losing money every single day. And the reason you're losing money is because you plan to make it. And when you don't make it, it's a loss. It's a loss. So that was the sidebar box with the #facts and your speaker money goal for a year. Now I want you to write down what is the daily amount that equates to. And every day, when you don't book yourself, when you don't get booked, if you're not booking, that's money that you're potentially losing. And that's not okay. So what happens is entrepreneurs go about their entrepreneurial isms as if that is okay, because we don't look at money that we're not making until it's time to look at it when it's not made. And so I want us to end that. And I want us to be very clear on our revenue goals. It's time for you to really become an epic speaker and get into the swing of things and be very clear on what the money looks like. So, just to go back to why you should listen to me, you may have seen me in varying publications, whether it was on TV, in print, hosting, as guests, so on and so forth. But one of the things that I know is to rock your talk, and what I'm going to teach you today is once you get on stage, you will crush it. You will do much better. And the more you get on stage, the more you practice. And this is considered a virtual stage as well, right? I created an event, a virtual event. It's called Rock Your Talk. You're here, you're tuned in with hundreds of other people, right? And by the end of this broadcast, probably thousands of other individuals, okay? And you'll crush it and be more confident and be able to make more as a result. So one of the things that's really important for me to say up front is speaker suicide is being inauthentic. And so while I'm teaching you some things that you need to know, I want you to understand that your job is to be real and to be you. And by real, I don't mean, you have to curse or you have to, be like how you are with your friends. I'm saying be authentic in the space. What are you bringing to the stage? You don't have to act it. You don't have to, put on a show, although it could be considered a show, right? Speaking is a bit of a performance. People are watching you. They want to be entertained and informed, right? They want to be entertained, even if it's something serious. They want to be captivated by what you're saying, okay? So Rock Your Talk, the 5 elements that I'm going to cover is setting up your opening, connecting, serving, seeding, and selling. Okay. And those are the elements that we're going to cover tonight to rock your talk. Your opening, your story, your methodology, your solution, which is your product, and then your offer. There's more elements to this that we have in our formula. There's about 8, and I'm going to be covering 5 today. Okay. Before we get started, I would like to pop into the chat and see, just to do a pulse check and see how people are doing over there. So I am going to just do a little pulse check. And I do want to check the chat box. There's Q&A. Okay, already answered. And let's just check the chat. Okay, so just to go back to those goals, someone said 250,000, 50,000, 30,000, 78,500, 10,000, 12, 35, 180, 60, 40, 25, 36, 25 to 50. Whoever said 25 to 50, get clear, pick one. 120, 100, 40. So be clear. Don't make that a cliche number. Don't make it cliche. Write it down, right? Write it down. Also, make sure that if you're in the chat, that you change it to all panelists and attendees. If you don't, then people won't see what you're saying. Okay. All right. So let's get this going. I did recently a boot camp called Speak to Get Paid, and we covered this content in much deeper depth. And I'm excited about what's coming next and how we can really go beyond the threshold of this, I call it faux speaker, right? No more faux speakers. So let's get started. So number 1 is the setup for your talk, right? The setup for your talk really looks like what the opening really looks like. And one of the things, when I took my speaker training as a certified speaker, and I took my speaker training in Florida, and I also had some other speaker training in California, one of the things that we learned really immediately is and one of the things that Dave Van Hoos actually taught me, he said to me, you're very talented. And talent is natural, right? So you could be talented and broke. Can we agree? You could be talented and sell out stages and do good. You could be talented and bomb, but talent doesn't mean anything necessarily in business. So how can we take your talent and put technique with it so now you become epic? And that's what we want. We want to take your talent. Now you can add technique to what God already gave you, what you've already trained, and then you can go on beyond. So you're opening. And as I'm sharing this, as you structure your talk should absolutely be created, I believe, on some sort of slides. And the slides should not have tons of copy and paragraphs, okay? Any slides with paragraphs is like long paragraphs where all your slides are paragraphs. That's not good. So we don't want that. So keep things simple. So you're opening. When you open, when you arrive on the stage, and one thing also that I learned that I really enjoy is a transfer of power. So when you walk on the stage, there should be some sort of transfer of power. The person on the stage is the authority maker. They are the person who is commanding and demanding the attention of everyone who's watching. So make sure that there's some sort of transfer of power where the audience sees whoever introduces you, sees them have some sort of physical contact with you so that there is some sort of transfer, whether that's a handshake, a hug, a high five, a fist bump, whatever it is, but some sort of, I'm now releasing my power into you, and that person's exiting and you now have it, sort of like passing the baton, right? So when you're opening, you want to make sure that you open with and be captivating. You want to have some sort of hook. You want to set the tone and let people know what they should be expecting from you in your talk, right? You want to also be able, within your talk, let people know that there is something for them, right? And so while we are on this webinar right now, for those of you connected to me on Messenger and email, you're going to receive some free gifts. So you're going to receive free gifts. You're probably going to get one like in the next 60 seconds. So in about 60 seconds, you're about to get a free gift in your inbox, literally right now while we're on this training. So you want to make sure that you offer something of value and keep and maintain people's attention, right? For those of you who received the free gift, type out what it was. So if you're connected to me on Messenger in my Epic April page and you already got the gift, you're going to get it in about 30 more seconds, right? So you want to make sure that you give something. And again, this is all when you come on the stage, and this is the opening of your talk. This is all in the opening. You want to also remind people of the pain points, which is basically saying, why are you here, right? You're here because you want to learn how to rock your talk. You're here because you don't want to just say you're a speaker. You're here because X, Y, and Z. You want to remind people why they came, right? Because they came for a reason. Yes. If they come to an event and you're speaking, it's because they needed something. If they come to your event, it's because they needed something. And then you want to make sure that not only do you point out what the challenges are, but you want to let people know that there is a solution and that a solution does exist through your content and through your products and services. Okay. And also you want to let people know in whatever way you want to let them know. If not now, then when? If not here, then where? So basically you're saying it's the right time and the right place, because these are decisions that your attendees are making, right? When they show up. So you want to validate their decision that they've done a good thing, right? You want to validate their decision. And then you want to move into an element of credibility. Why should people be listening to you? Why should they care? How is your experience of you working with clients? How is any of that relevant to your audience? Why should they listen to you? Why should they care to hear from you? Let them know in the beginning, right? Let them know in the beginning. And then you want to let people know, you want to kind of you're setting up your talk. And I want you to look at your entire talk as a journey, right? And so you're setting it up. So I see our chat box inside of Zoom is popping off. Let me see what's going on there. Someone said they got the script. They got the booking script. Someone says, got the booking script. They said, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is awesome. Michelle says, booking script. Thank you. Yes. So for those of you who are, like I said, we're giving gifts, and that's not the only one. So if you want to become an epic speaker, you definitely need to know what to say to get yourself booked, right? So shout out to all 101 live participants in the Zoom room, and shout out to everyone watching live on Facebook right now. If you're watching live on Facebook, hit the share button. This is too good not to share. All right. And so then you want to let people know, what is the promise? What are you promising them that they're going to get? They're going to learn. Let them know. All right. The second thing is you want to make sure that you connect with story. And stories are important. And a lot of people really don't understand the story element and how to really break down the story and tie it into various talks for various audiences. And I want you to make sure that you're aware of what that looks like. So Gary Vee says, let me maximize this. Gary Vee says, no matter what you do, your job is to tell your story. And I would go to venture to say your job is to show your story, right? So how can you be on the stage and actually show your story in a way that people can feel it and it resonates with them? Your job as a speaker really is to manage the room. So it should not be that you are just there as a talking head, because let's agree, how many times have you heard a speaker and you were bored? The content may have been good, but they couldn't keep your attention. So it just was like, gone, right? So no matter what you do, your job is to absolutely tell your story. Oh, my daughter's trying to call. Isn't that sweet? Let me get back. Oh God, can I get back? I don't even know where my slides are, Jesus. Lord, poor little thing, and knocked me off my thing. Let me stop the share. Go to Zoom. Let me stop sharing so I can fix that and find my documents. She just killed my document. So that's one of the things that you really want to understand is that your story is the most relevant thing. And it's not, and what's really beautiful is that it's not just one story, right? And I'm gonna talk about that in 1 second. Okay. So there we are. Let me go back to share screen and let's get into story. Okay. Is this good? If this is good content, people are saying, woohoo, got the gift. If you're not subscribed to my mini chat or email, then you won't get it. Sorry. And we're not sending it because that's just too much to do. That's why it's great to be connected. So make sure you're connected to us, right? To us. If you're not, make sure you hop inside of our group, Coach Speak and Write for Profits, and we will make the gifts available to you for all the way through tomorrow. So all the way through tomorrow for 24 hours. After that, I'm pulling the links down. I don't even want it that long, actually, but I'll leave it up till tomorrow, okay? All right, so going back to my screen share. Okay, so the story. So one of the things that I love about stories in the process is really instance extraction. And basically, it's this idea that to create the story is to kind of pull various elements of your life, these small little instances that are really important to you and have been compelling to you, and then create stories from those instances. So for example, an instance for me is I got fired in 2007 and I went bankrupt. Well, that's the instance. And then there's a story that ties to that. So you want to make sure that you feel that you tie that in. And you want to make sure that there's some sort of emotion, feeling, connection. What is that with all of those various stories, right? And then you want to understand what the lesson is behind that. Like, what is the actual lesson? And then what is the actual outcome of the story? Because there's an outcome for it all, you know? So when I got fired, part of the outcome is I'm sitting here talking to you. But there's lots of things that came out of that, right? Of being fired, going bankrupt, and following my dream and getting pushed into entrepreneurship. And then the other thing when you're sharing stories on the stage is that when you start to share your story, you want to make sure that you bring your voice down. And one of the things that I'll be teaching inside of Epic Speakers Academy, which I will be sharing with you tonight, is how to really manage the tonality of your voice and what that looks like, right? And when is it appropriate to shift your voice, to elongate your words, to put emphasis on certain words, so that your statement becomes more captivating and it maintains the attention of your audience. Do you see how I said that? That could have been a very plain and boring sentence. So that was just a sidebar. And then for those of you that may be saying, oh my gosh, my life has been so boring, I don't have any stories. First of all, that's not true. That's a lie you're telling yourself, but I digress for now. And you can use borrowed stories as long as you give credit to the author. Use borrowed stories, okay? Don't be afraid. So that's the second piece. So when you first go on the stage, of course, there's your intro. You've told people who you are. They know what to expect. You're giving away free things. And then you go into what your story is, right? And that's your way of really, truly connecting with your audience because that's what they want. And if they don't know they want it, know that they need it. Know that they need it. Because I've spoken in some very corporate environments and told some very harrowing and emotional stories, and I've had all kinds of people, male, female, all races, backgrounds, in tears in professional environments, because that was the message that they needed, right? Based on the reason I was hired and what was said. This is what these people need. So it's important to understand that sharing your story is a part of you making a deeper connection. And listen, I didn't start off as Epic April. Now, I was epic. I just didn't know it, right? So I was epic and I didn't know it. And this is me, high school dropout. I hate that term, actually. Single mom, teenage mom, all the little statistics, double minority, female, African-American, whatever, and all the other little X marks that I turned into check marks, right? Because no one has the authority to take your story away and your lessons and the medallions and the awards and the medals that life gave you for still being here. So understand that through your talk, sharing story is important because people need to be able to relate. Okay, they need to be able to relate. Number 3 is your methodology. What does that mean? That means how you do shit, right? That's what that means. Your method, your technology means how you do things. My methodology for story creation is right here. That's my method, right? So what is your methodology and how do you share that? So your methodology, oh, that's funny. I have how you do shit on the slide. That's hilarious. Your methodology is you teaching how to do something very specific, right? So that is you breaking down content in 3 to 5 steps. Typically, more than 5 steps is too much. People can't absorb it. They can't implement it. They feel water hose. Although people say they want a lot of content, the truth is you can only do one thing at a time. Everybody say one thing. I can't hear you. Just say it. One thing, right? And then in your methodology, you want to not only do your points of your 1, 2, 3s, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. You want to also prove it. Prove to them that it works through case studies or other examples. Again, these are things that you may have on your slides. You then want to go back and review what they learned in bullet points, right? So just one slide, some snapshots. Then you want to further validate your points by showing proof on steroids, which just simply means more proof. And so this works because, right? And then you want to get people to make a commitment, right? 3 times in the methodology. So you want to get people in your audience to make a commitment. Commit to showing up for yourself, right? Commit to picking up the phone and getting yourself booked. Commit to following up when you don't hear from them. One of the apps that I really love, and this is for our Gmail users, I don't know if this is in other email platforms have this, but I love Boomerang. And Boomerang allows me to send an email, but before I send it, it allows me to boomerang it back to me. So I can actually send an email, boomerang it back to me by specifying when I want it to come back. And that's my trigger to remind myself to follow up if I haven't heard from that person. So I could literally send you an email. And then if I don't hear from you in 7 days, it will send the email back to me, regardless whether I hear from you or not, I'm getting the email back. And that's my trigger to pick up the phone or hit reply and, reach back out to the person, but it's so I don't forget. And it's Boomerang. And I think it's free. If it's not, it's pretty low cost. And then in your methodology, you want to remind people that they do have choices, right? They can do this stuff or not. You all can implement this or not. I'm telling you, it works. I wouldn't be where I am if it didn't, right? And I wouldn't have spent the money to learn either, but it works. It absolutely works. And it helps you not only, like I said, be just talented, but also skilled, right? Also skilled. Number 4, you want to plant a seed. So for those of you who understand that when you have something to offer, remember, true transformation, I believe, happens in the sale of your products and services, because that's why you created them. The free content is for information, right? It's information, and it helps maintain your relevancy as a speaker, as an influencer, as an entrepreneur. When people buy your products and services, that's when they really transform, because they get to walk through a process, right? Somebody type in the product that you have for sale right now. Not the link, just the name. What's the name of the product you have for sale right now? Okay. Or the next product you will have for sale. So number 4 is plant a seed. This is your product, right? This is you letting people know that there is something coming. That there's a deeper solution. Not only is the content a solution, but there's a deeper solution to what it is that they need. So this is where you remind people of their pain points, where you let them know that the solution is in your product, right? Because then you create your product to be a solution. You created your product to be a solution, okay? This is not where you say prices or any of that. This is where you simply plant the seed that it exists. Similar, I planted a seed about Epic Speakers Academy because I'm going to be sharing it. In about 15 minutes, you all are going to get another free gift from me. It's going to be amazing. Blow your socks off. And I want you to be clear on this. In this part of your talk is not where you talk about prices. This part of your talk is where you're piquing interest, right? It's where you're piquing interest. And notice inside of your talk, you can sprinkle pieces of seeds throughout your presentation. And it lets people know that there's more. And then you also, during this time, you want people to commit verbally by shaking their head, raising their hand, whichever. You want them to commit verbally to the fact that wouldn't it be great if your product resolved all of their challenges? Okay? So this is you planting a seed within your presentation and letting people know during your talk that there is a solution and it's been created. Y'all got that? I want to stop right here and go to a little Q&A. So I'm going to stop the screen share. I'm going to pop on the screen, and I want to catch the questions that you all have. I'm not going to be, there's tons of you all on, so I'm going to do the best I can. So someone's Jennifer Y. Merriman, the Help Program Certification. These are things you have for sale. Unchain Me Mama book and workshop, Overcoming Overwhelm, 5-week coaching program, Master Your Vendor event bootcamp, Courageous Voices book anthology, Lupus 365, A Journey Through Life. Listen to all these varying things that people have to offer. Wouldn't it be great if you were sold to capacity? The best commercial for your brand and business truly is you speaking. And this is the example I like to use. And again, I'm taking questions, so please ask them. Please ask them. I'm not sure what my last statement was because I have no idea. This is unscripted, so I don't remember. So if someone else remembers, please type it out for Dr. Charlene. So questions, please ask them in the chat, and I will answer a few questions before I go into my final point. Before I say, I'll stop there. Let's see. Tashana says, if the presenter informed you in advance not to see, then how do you work around this and still be respectful? Well, there's no workaround. I mean, if you agreed to speak and they said no seating or selling, then that's it. It's no seating or selling. You can ask them, can you list build? If you can list build, and also I'm wondering, are you getting paid? Because if they're not paying you to speak and you can't seat or sell, I'm confused. And you can't list build? Remember, speaking opportunities should be valuable on both sides. It's not enough for me just to be at your event because you think you're giving me exposure, depending on the event. You know, obviously, if Tony Robbins said, April, will you come speak at my event? I'm going to be like, hell yes. I don't care if he pays me or not. I'll buy my own plane ticket and everything, right? If Oprah called, I'm gone. You know, but for the most part, there should be one of three things happening. You can list build through text option, which isn't seating. You can seed or you can sell, or all three. Okay, I look for audiences for all three. Next question, can these steps work if your presentation isn't that long? What isn't that long? And the answer is yes. So whether it's 5 minutes, you learn, and this is what I'll be teaching in Epic Speakers Academy, how to curtail you can go from a 90-minute talk and turn it into 5 minutes. It's still the same elements, but you learn how to strip some things out. So the answer is yes. Someone asked, by having notes on stage, does this take away from, yeah, why do you need notes? Don't ever do that. Everyone here, there's no reason to have no damn notes, ever. Ever, ever, ever. You don't need any notes. If you can't have a PowerPoint, then remember the 3 points you're going to make. Remember the story you're telling, the 3 points, and how you're closing. No notes. I think that's highly unprofessional, and don't ever read from the stage. I think that's just absurd. If you got to read, rent a damn teleprompter if you're giving that type of speech. I don't like that. I think that's just, I'm just like, because you can't even look at the audience because you got to read down here. So if you can't get a teleprompter, then there's no reading. No notes, no reading. Next question. Do you have tips for keeping your talk within the allotted speaking time? Yes, practice. Period. Practice. 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 You should know your story, and you should know how long each segment of what I'm teaching you takes for you, right? So the close takes about 20 minutes. The story should take about 10 minutes, 3 minutes. Depends on your total length of time. So that really depends. Nicole says, how can I create a product? That's not this training. We're talking about speaking. How can you create a product is inside of our membership. If you go to coreinsession.com, then you can learn more about how you can create a product as a member of that specific training. Someone says, do you offer the solution before you tell your story? No. Don says, your product is their solution. Yes, it is. Someone says, what visual components should a speaker have in place when starting off? Business cards, speaker one sheet, media kit. I'm starting off and I want to have all my visuals prepared. So you mean, what is the brand collateral necessary to get yourself booked? The truth is, you don't need anything but your voice and a phone. Now, from positioning, now you said need. So need is your voice and a message. So you need a brand message. So you need to be clear on what it is you can speak about. And you want to have some sort of online presence somewhere because they're going to go look for you. But most of the time, people aren't asking for anything, or they may ask for a few things. But I would not say not having a media kit, though you should have one, is going to stop you. There's nothing that can stop any single person here from getting booked unless you don't know your message and you don't have a brand. And maybe they can't Google you and nothing comes up. So if they Google you and nothing comes up, then you might have a problem. But if you've been doing some positioning, then there's no reason why you can't get booked. So there's no should have, because it's all varies. I'm speaking at Entrepalooza. They never asked me for anything because they already know me because I'm already, out there, right? And as a matter of fact, nowhere I've ever spoken has ever asked me for my speaker kit. We have them because it's great for positioning for you to send, and it's helpful, but it's not the end all be all. Next question. When you remind the audience of the pain points, how much time do you spend there? Or is it a quick reminder? You don't spend a lot of time there. I'd say probably 30 seconds, maybe 60, but it depends on how long you totally have, because that's really a big factor. Someone says, should you pay to speak at other people's events? It depends. Is it Tony Robbins, or is it, you know, so-and-so speaker who's putting on her first conference and charging you $200 to speak? It depends. The very first conference I spoke at was Tori Johnson's conference. I had to buy my own plane ticket and buy a ticket to the event. And it was the best thing I could have ever did. The best thing. Because now I am partner with Spark and Hustle. And I've done it at other events. Your job is to make your money when you get there. If you don't know how, then that's the challenge. The challenge isn't the fact that you got to pay. The challenge is, can you make money? Or can you meet your objective for going? Why are you paying is the question. Are you paying because you need an audience, you need a list, you need exposure, you need brand images of you speaking on a stage with a live audience? It really depends on what you need on whether the answer to that question will be yes or no. Okay. Facebook, I see you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you again for sharing this broadcast and commenting. Tag a friend who you know can utilize this information. Let's see. Someone says, will these slides be in core? No. What is this? Someone says, would you charge fees for virtual speaking engagements? No. Someone says, I have a brand and a message, but I don't get booked. I call and I ask to speak, but I never get a response. Well, that's the problem. If you got the booking script, nowhere does it say, can I speak at your thing? Because that's not what you say. It's how can I help? And you may not be the person to it just depends. It's your technique. It's not because you don't have anything. The only way to get the booking script is to join the group on Facebook, Coach Speak and Write for Profits, and ask for it. That's how you'll get it. I'm going to post it in the file section when I'm done with this, and it's going to stay until tomorrow. After tomorrow, it gets deleted, and I'm not putting it back. Okay, so make sure you join the Facebook group when you get the booking script. You're in the group, Nina, then you're golden. Post a post, hashtag rock your talk, rock my talk, and you'll get it. Awesome. So if you're in the group, then great. Okay, that was the questions. Let me go to the chat box. Someone says, how did you discern a difference between unpaid and paid opportunities? Very good question, Terrell. It's about the benefit. If you're not getting paid, what are you getting? It's not always, because paid doesn't always mean currency. Your payment could be exposure. I just said it, brand images. It just depends, right? So I think that really depends. Natalie asked, how do we implement these points virtually? The exact same way. I'm doing it right now. Answered. Rachel says, as a new speaker, do you advise to offer speak? I don't use the word free. There is a value exchange that has to happen. Okay? There's a value exchange that has to occur. So what is the value exchange? So if you go and speak and you waive your fee because you're not speaking for free, there is a fee. You just didn't charge them. And there should be a contract for that. So y'all going to speak all these places and you ain't signed nothing, stop it. Again, that's not a speaker. That's a person that's talking. Become an epic speaker. Become. Okay? You want to become. Excuse me, that's important. So there's no speaking for free. There's only waiving your fee to speak. And you discern that based on the benefits, right? So the benefits let you know, okay, this is good. I'm going to go. Like I said, Spark and Hustle. I'm like, shit, why would I want to speak on her stage? Like, this is amazing. Of course I'm going. Changed my whole, it made me a speaker. And I paid $600, paid for a hotel, the whole thing. And for those of you, listen, you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues. Is it typical to receive your fee before you speak? There's no such thing as typical. It's what you agree to. I get my fee. I get half of my fee before I get on the plane, and I pick up the rest of my money before I do the thing. That's how it works. When I arrive, I want my money. I'm not waiting because you might not have it, or something could happen with the budget and I've already done my job and I fulfill my part of the contract, I'm not waiting. So that's kind of typically how I operate, unless it's an organization that I already trust and I know, then that would be different if we already have a relationship. But typically I get paid on arrival. Good question. Okay. Someone says, where can you find a speaker contract? Well, for those of you who are connected to me, guess what your next gift is? Ta-da! Speaker contract. If you're not connected and you're not in the group, too bad. So sad. I'm sorry. Go get in the group so you can get access to it. Again, it's going to be only available for a short time, and it's going to totally be a huge resource for you, the booking script and the contract for those of you who are going to be joining Epic Speakers Academy. Okay. It's going to be a huge resource for you to utilize. All right. And so I want you to make sure that you have it, and I want to teach you what to do with it. All right. Now let's go back to the training. I have my 5th point that we need to make. So I'm going back to share my screen. All right. So again, we just wrapped up this element of your planting the seeds. I just answered your questions. I want to make sure I got those out of the way. And I know you'll have more, so make sure you hop into Coach Speak and Write for Profits on Facebook. And once you get your gift, let me know. Don't you love technology and the way that it works? Like, I'm doing this live. We have emails set up. There's automation set up. There's all these things set up to still communicate with you and bring home the points that are necessary for me to make while we're in learning session. And that is freaking awesome and amazing. So number 5, sell something. For whatever reason, I want to spend a little bit of time here because people are so afraid to make an offer and to sell something. Listen, I truly believe that selling makes transformation possible for your audience. Buying is their choice. Don't be nervous to make an offer, because the whole reason you created the dang on thing is so that they can implement it. They will take it. They will use it. Right? The reason we created ESA 2.0 is because, and that's Epic Speakers Academy 2.0, is because I know that the transformation that you're wanting will happen over a short, extended period of time, if you will. So remember, when you step on the stage, a lot of people get very nervous when it comes to the pitch element. They get very nervous. They don't make it, the pitch, or they mention the offer or they don't even make an offer. They just tell people they have something. So they'll say, for example, and who's guilty? Type in the number 2 if you're guilty. 2 if you're guilty. Let me do it. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to share with you how to live your best life. And for those of you who are interested in living your best life and you want me to teach you, you should join my 6-week Living Your Best Life program. It's $1,900 and I'll be in the back of the room. Okay, bye. Oh, y'all should have just gotten the gift number 2 from my bot assistant, Evan. Evan just sent it because I got it too. So you should have your gift number 2 already in your inbox, which should be the speaking contract. So let's just double check. Love and Technology. Shout out to our entire team, Laveda, Alex, Andrika, Melissa, and Josh for making things happen. Yes, a real speaker contract. My bot assistant, Evan, just sent it to you. Just click on gift number 2 to grab it, okay? Now, sell something. For those of you who are struggling with selling, these are the elements of your sale. Okay? Ask for permission to make the offer. State who it's for and who it's not for. Value stack, meaning add bonuses. What else do people get to entice them? You all are on a free webinar training. You paid nothing. I just shared with you things that you can implement right away. You have not only 1, but 2 valuable gifts. You have what to say to get yourself booked, and you have a contract to get yourself booked, right? Always be giving value. So you can only imagine that when I share with you what I'm sharing, that's going to be even more enticing and amazing. So value, add more value. You want to also then help people understand that the price of what you are offering, really, it could be more. So you want people to really understand and sell on full price, right? Meaning if it, for example, if you're going to buy a brand new Mercedes, we can agree that it's probably worth $60,000 at least, right? That's easy. Now, would you buy it for $39,000? Hell yeah. $39,000, I'm sold. I'm in there, right? And then you want to make sure, and again, within your offer, that you are implementing several call to actions. So you don't just ask people to buy once because there's various people in the room. You want to make sure that you ask people to buy multiple times, and I'll share with you why. So then once you sell on full price, you want to encourage people to go and buy. Go to blank.com. Go to the back of the room. Go to the enrollment area. Go to see so-and-so. Okay. And then after that, you want to build up more value, which is more bonuses. So what else can they get? Right. And again, you may not always do every single one of these steps, but you damn sure want to get the most of them in. Right. So even if you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 30 minutes, you want to make sure that you can build them all in. You don't want to breeze through. Right. And miss the opportunity to make a good offer. Okay. And then you want to have a call to action again. So what is the second call to action? And that's just simply, again, click here, go here, do this or do that in order to enroll, right? And then you want to share with people that there is this whole grape and strawberries element, meaning apples and oranges, basically. What are the comparisons, right? What are the comparisons? The comparisons is you can take speaking training. You can go to Toastmasters. It's not the same as learning how to speak to sell, to speak to transform, right? And so you want to compare apples to oranges. It's not the same thing. You want to also help people commit to themselves. So what does that look like? They should commit to themselves, right? And then you want to show people that they have choices and that what are the choices that you're presenting in front of them. Addition to that, I love implementing real scarcity. Right? So the first 5, the first 10, or so on and so forth are going to get it at this price, or we'll get this in addition to, right? Like the scarcity I just implemented with the bonuses that you all are getting inside of the, inside of your messenger on Facebook. That is only for the people, I'm serious about people who are connected to me. So if you're not connected consistently, like you're not just going to get this free information and then not be connected. No, you should then be connected too, because there's more where that came from, right? So implement scarcity. And then there's a call to action again, right? And then you want to implement a Q&A, but when? Not on the stage, unless it's that type of event. So like for this event where I'm speaking this week, or this specific one, not this week, I'm speaking at 2 things this week, but this one tomorrow, there is Q&A, but it's on the stage because it's a non-selling environment. So I have the opportunity to teach and then answer questions, okay? And that's what that specifically looks like. Now, I want to hop over and talk to you about a couple things. So before I move on, does anyone have any questions? Anna says Epic Speakers Academy is all that. Yes, she's a former Epic Speakers Academy alum. Thank you. You guys are welcome for your second gift. You're so super welcome. Sam, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that you're finding value in this. And one of the things that I want to share with you is the main reason I became a speaker is because I knew a long time ago that I had something to say. I didn't know what that something was, but I knew that there was a passion inside of me that I wanted to be heard. And I knew that even though society says I should not be a success, I should be this or that, I knew that that was a lie. And that I believe God gave me a tremendous gift to serve and to help people. And that's what I do. And I find fulfillment in that by leveraging speaking as a means to disseminate my passion and the things that I know. So for those of you inside the group, you're not going to have the gift yet because I just made that up while I'm teaching, and I'm still teaching. And when I get off of here, then I will upload it and where it will stay for 24 hours. So once I'm done, then I'll upload it and then you'll have it. Okay. So the reason why it's important to me for you to speak is because the only person running a commercial to get to where they're wanting to go for your brand, for your audience, is who? I'm going to wait. Who's running a commercial for you? You. No one else. No one else is running a commercial with your name, your face in the headlines. On the consistent basis, it's going to be you. So what if I had a solution that resolved and put you in front of your possibilities of transformation, of confidence, of zeal, of prosperity, of abundance? Because the getting paid to speak is not a cliche. It's real. People will pay you to come and talk and transform their audiences when you know what to do, how to get there, what to do when you get there, and what to do when you leave. People will pay you for your story, to hear it. Let me tell you something. I have had a speaker sheet forever, ever since Tori Johnson trained me in media training with Peter Shankman in New York at the New York City Athletic Club across from Central Park. And this was 5 years ago. And when her and I worked on this together, she said to me, "What is your story? There's something missing." And do you know that of my speaking topics, no one has ever asked me to speak on any one of those topics. They always say, "I heard you tell this story." Don't you want to know how to tell your story, which story you should tell, and how you should tell it? Don't you want to know how to smoothly make a transition from one point in one segment of your story to the next? Don't you want to understand how to control the room so that you not only transform the room, but you also transform your bank account? And that's not cliche either, because it's happening every day. Every day. People that look just like you, from places where you're from, and sound like you, are leveraging their voice and their story to make a difference. And that is valuable. And in our world, value in the speaking world is shown by you getting paid. That's when someone says, "Your content, your story is so powerful that I'm willing to fly you somewhere or write a check to hear it, because I know that the audience is going to be moved, motivated, changed, transformed, inspired as a result." And you as a speaker are bringing as an asset to an event. That's what you want. And I want to help you get there. So I am opening the doors for our October 19th session of Epic Speakers Academy 2.0. Now, let me share this with you. When we launched the version of Epic Speakers Academy the first time, the sticker price was $7,995. Someone write that down, $7,995. That's what it was. It's not what it is today, right? Which is why it's 2.0. But it was $7,000. That was the sticker price, $7,995. We have some of those alumni in here vouching for the program. And the women that are making a transformation, the individuals that were in that program are doing amazingly well. And we're offering during this pre-enrollment period, Epic Speakers Academy for $1,999. However, for you, Epic Speakers Academy is 50% off. It's $999 in 3 payments, and it's $699 in 1 payment. You can learn all about Epic Speakers Academy by going to epicspeakersacademy.com. When you go to epicspeakersacademy.com, you will learn exactly what you'll be learning. Inside of it, you will receive 3 masterclasses live with me in addition to your digital instruction training. You will be doing live drills, practicing. You will be creating your story, your offer, your pitch, all of the elements that I just shared for you to rock your talk. I'm going to walk you through over the next 10 weeks. So for $333 tonight, you can pre-enroll in our 50% off promotion, which makes it $999, or make 1 payment of $699. Class begins on October the 19th, which is a Thursday in the evening. Okay? Now there is an additional element that I want to add, which is voice coaching. Why is that important? Why does it is worth so much more, right? But we've restructured some things. Okay, we've restructured some things. But also we have a professional voice coach and opera singer coming to teach you how to use your voice so that you don't wear your voice out. So if you go to epicspeakersacademy.com, someone type that in the comments, epicspeakersacademy.com, you'll learn all the amazing details on how you can go from overlooked to overbooked and paid. Overlooked to overbooked and paid. Thank you for typing that link. Head over there, and I highly encourage you to enroll in pre-enrollment because it will never be this price again. This price expires on Friday night this week at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. It will go away and it will never be this price again. I promise you. I'm doing this training, Rock Your Talk, again a week from now, and it's going up. This is so real. This is a part of our process. It's going up. So for the next 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Friday, you have the opportunity for a minimum of $333 to enroll yourself into Epic Speakers Academy 2.0. I hope that this information has been valuable to you. I know that there are 2 things that is going to happen with the people that are viewing right now and who have taken this Rock Your Talk training. Number 1 is some of you all will take this, 3 things. Some of you all will have taken this training and walk away and do nothing. You won't increase your influence, you will not increase your bank account, and you won't make the difference you're wanting to make. And then some of you will take this information and implement what you can with what you've learned for free. And then some of you will enroll in Epic Speakers Academy 2.0 and position yourself in 2018 to make a difference, not only for you, but for those you serve. And in every scenario, that's always the case. My question to you is, which one of those people are you going to be? My name is April Hunt. I look forward to seeing many of you inside of Coach Speak and Write for Profits. Look forward to your free gifts. And I hope to see at least half of you inside of our new edition of Epic Speakers Academy 2.0 starting for this fall session so we can blaze in rocking our talks and getting paid in 2018. My name is April. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye for now.